Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jillian and this is Simply Budgets. Here on my channel, my husband and I are on a journey to become debt-free. We use a zero-based budget and cash-stuffing method to keep us on track. Our biggest goal is to pay off our debt and simplify our life and our budget. If this is something you're interested in, stick around. In today's video, I am going to be doing an unstuffing. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to reconcile some purchases that have been made on my credit card, and we'll unstuff, and I'll kind of explain why not all of these are actually going to get unstuffed. So I'm going to pop this page out so it's easier to deal with. And just set my binder off to the side. All right. Grab my supplies. Oh, sorry, hit the camera. Okay. So you'll see I have a piece of, you might be able to see it just out of frame, but I have a piece of paper off to the side. And I am looking at that because I have made some notes for myself as to what I'm going to do, because this time is not going to be just quite as straightforward, because there are some other areas that we're going to be getting the money from. So let's dive right in. The first one on the list is Amazon, and it is from it would be from my spending. But today, actually, we got our carbon tax rebate. In Canada, the government is, to offset the carbon tax and stuff like that, they are giving households annual rebate. So we got $613.80 today. And after discussing with my husband and some of the bills that we've had come in, we've decided that we're not going to put, a lot of that directly on, well, we'll put some of it onto debt, but we want to use it for some other things, and I'll explain that as we go. So anyway, I had made a purchase on Amazon, and it came to $36.78. I listed as spending, but it could be listed as self-care. But anyway, so that's what this was for. And so I'm actually not going to be taking that out of spending. We're going to take it out of the $613 that we got for our carbon tax. So I'm just going to transfer it from our account, where it was automatically deposited, over onto the credit card. So I'm actually going to record those ones in green, and I'm just going to say transfer, and I'll know what that means, and we'll go from there. So the amount that's going to be returned to the credit card, not to the bank, is actually going to be $36.78, the amount that was charged. The Discovery Plus, the $6.89, is in our subscriptions, and I'm actually going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, and anything that I'm actually going to be taking out of that amount of money, I'm just going to get rid of it so we don't have to get caught up here. So we've got this purchase, this purchase, this one's also going to be transfer, and it's going to be $32.19. We had to take our dogs to the vet, so this was a very unexpected expense. And what we were going to do is take it out of our buffer. We have a $1,000 buffer in our account for our bills and stuff like that. But this unexpected amount of money, because I didn't think it was coming in this soon, came in, So we're actually going to just take it out of there so we don't have to eat into our buffer. But that's what it is there for if anything like this arises. Because last week we had to take my cat to the vet, and then this past week our dog, our rescue, well, keep calling him our rescue, but gosh, we've had him for 6 years now. So he's 9. He's a Rottweiler cross, and he's been limping pretty significantly the last little while. So we took him to the vet last week, and as usual, nothing with the vet is cheap, but they told us that they really just think that it's old age. So they gave us some pain meds, gave him a full exam, and they updated their vaccines. So that's where that came from. Okay, so this one here, the MC Food Solutions, I have a couple of them that are listed as work, and I'm not actually going to be taking them out of anything because I have already submitted my travel expense claim, and this will be paid out of that amount. So I'm going to put this as expense claim, so that I know that that money's not there just yet, but my work should have me reimbursed by next week. So I'll know to go back and transfer this money onto my credit card. They also pay me for mileage, and so that would be money that would be extra income. So we'll be dealing with that next week sometime. All right. So let's mark those ones off. I mean, technically, because they're paying me mileage, and this was while I was at work, this eating out, I got a Starbucks while I was at a work conference on Friday. Technically, I could say that I'm paying for that out of the expense, but I'm just taking it out of our eating out. But the mileage that they're paying me would definitely cover that. Okay, so let's see here. There's a couple more that aren't actually listed on here that I should list. So Lawton's is a local drugstore, so this would be self-care. I don't think this one's on there. No, it's not. Meat market, which would be groceries. We buy our breakfast protein, so bacon and sausage, from a local butcher, so that's what that is. I think we bought some fresh bread that day too. They have a bakery there. There's another. Oh yeah, I forgot to write it down. 25.54. The McDonald's was on there. I think that's it. 1, 2, 7. Okay. So these ones are also going to be covered. We decided to cover these out of the $613. This allows us to kind of leave some of that money that we would be taking in our envelopes, so that we're not depleting them as much, and we don't have to, like for the vet, we wouldn't have to dip into our emergency fund. or the buffer, whatever you want to call it, but there's $1,000 there, and I really would like to keep it at 1,000. So we're really not going to be unstuffing a whole lot because these should add up to, let's see here. Oh, I gotta go get my calculator. Just one second. Okay. Let's add this up. So that amount came to $610.89. So that is what we are going to be taking from the carbon tax. I'm going to keep that in green so I know the difference here. Okay, so I will I've already actually transferred that amount over. Let's do subscriptions. So we've got Discovery and Apple for subscriptions. $21.83, so we will do 20 to the bank. All right. So we'll take out, oh yeah, I moved this out of the way. My money holder. Take 20, and that leaves us with 20.45. How is it the 15th of April already? Like, really? All right, that's updated. 45 left in subscriptions. So we'll say return to the bank is 5. And 15. Okay. So now these ones are done. Next we have groceries. Okay. Let's see, we've got 30.10, 64.93, 28.64. So we've got 123.67. And what have we got in? Oh, I don't have the groceries up here. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. 123.67. What have we got in here? We only have 120 in here. And I don't want I don't want to take all of this. Because we actually need groceries this week. So, let's see, 40, what do we got in miscellaneous here? Maybe take 25 out of there, because I'd like to take 125 back to the bank. And I know I shouldn't be robbing Peter to pay Paul, but 40, 60, 70, 85, 90. We have 90 in household. But we do need to go to Costco and get a bunch of like paper towel and toilet paper, or all of those things. So I don't want to take from household if I don't have to. We'll take 20 out of eating out because we're probably not going to go anywhere this week. And then we'll take the rest out of here. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 125. So add that up again. 20, 40, 60, 80, 125. So there is that to go back. So I'm actually going to say where I took this from. Okay, so we've got 20, oh shoot, don't want to do that. I want to write miscellaneous here. Miscellaneous 25. Eating out 20. Groceries, is that 80? So miscellaneous had 5 remaining. Eating out had 20 remaining, and groceries has 40 remaining, for a total to return to the bank of 125. Okay. And that should be it for this. It's a pretty small unstuffing this week because I am doing the majority of it electronically. I'm just going to submit it that way. Do you ever have those days where you just feel like you're kind of all over the place? That's how I feel today. Okay, eating out. It's a very long day at work. I was in back-to-back meetings from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'd had an hour for lunch, and it was such a nice day that I went and sat outside with the dogs. And anyway, I just feel like my brain is mush at the end of those days. Need to make change. Let's see. It's all a bunch of 10s here. Where there were there. Eating out. I need to break my 20. So 20 in, 20 out. Should be 90 here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. So that is 90 into household. Eating out, I'm taking 5 to cover the coffee, and that leaves 15. Keep the nicer bill. All right. So it leaves 15 and we are returning 5 to the bank. Okay. How much are we taking to the bank? $150. So let's see if it actually is 150. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 45, 50. $150 to go back to the bank. I know it's not much, but every little bit that goes back and goes on the credit card is one less penny in interest that we have to pay. So I am happy to go through this process, and I find it easier if I do this every week. So every paycheck that we get, I like to go in and see what we spent on the credit card, take it out of those envelopes and take it back. It seems a little tedious at times, and it can be, especially when you have times like last week when I made a mistake and it took me that much longer to figure out where my mistake was. But when I was editing the video, I did find it. But I think that this is how we keep ourselves accountable. And this week was, we probably would have had to take from other accounts or areas because like we had another grocery at $25.54 and things like that. And so these past 2 weeks we have, well, this is just a week, I guess, we've overspent. That's our reality. If we hadn't had the extra $613 come in, we would have been robbing Peter to pay Paul. But the money is there. It's not like we don't have that money. It's just we would be taking from something else that we would be saving for, and I don't like doing that. I want us to live within our means. So this week was kind of a reality check for us. And my husband is working overtime again tonight. I'm home by myself for the third night in a row. Because my husband has picked up overtime, and I always tell him, like, I don't want him picking up whatever slack he feels is here because my income is lower than his. Like, really, when he doesn't pick up any overtime, I think there's a $10 difference in our paycheck, and I actually bring in that $10 more. But like, I was looking at my pay stub for this coming week, and I got a pay raise at the end of March. They call it an economic adjustment, a whole whopping 0.5%, which, I mean, I know everything is worth it, but it bumped me into the next tax bracket, and now I'm bringing home less money than what I was previously. I mean, I'm only bringing in $2 off of my paycheck less than I was previously, but I would rather not have gotten my pay raise because the government didn't just take $2 off. Like that pay raise, they basically took it and then some. So I'm like, well, what's the point of giving me a pay raise if you're just going to take it and then some of my other money that I've already earned? So I always feel guilty when I'm not working overtime and things like that, but I guess I'll put the effort into keeping us on track. And I got a little off track there, but when I said to my husband, like, I really don't want you to work to the point where you're exhausting yourself, and he said that he's more than happy to pick up the extra shifts if that helps get us to a point where we're not as tight with our budget. He goes, I want to get us to a point where I'm not put on a $50 a week budget for my spending. And so His motivation is that he doesn't like being restricted with his income. I go through bouts, and I can tell I've been more stressed lately because I've spent more. I bought nail supplies, probably didn't need them. I have more than enough, but I did. I went online and purchased them. I bought wig supplies. Could I have done without them? Yes, absolutely, I could have. Eating out, probably me, because I get to the point sometimes where I just get stressed and I just take sometimes the easy way out. And this is what keeps us accountable. This is what's going to keep us from getting into the position that we were previously. Yes, things are a little bit easier for us because we're not carrying a whole bunch of credit card debt, but we still have debt. And I want to be motivated to get to the point where maybe I don't have to be as strict with this, but I see that once we are debt free, that this is how we're going to get to a point of being able to have that financial freedom that we want, that my husband's yearning for, to not be put on a $50 a week budget. I mean, personally, $50 is more than enough for me. That works out to be $200 a month. And when everything else is accounted for in an envelope and spending, I don't really know what we would need that for other than maybe clothes or, those fun things. But I want to be able to have him get to a point where if he wants $75 a week for his spending money, then we have the luxury to be able to do that. Right now, we are not in that spot. So long story short, all of that to say, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all spend over our amounts that we have coming in. And I am thankful that even though the government is taking more on my taxes on my paycheck, that we got a carbon tax rebate this week, and that it was able to give us a little bit of breathing room here so that I didn't have to pull from envelopes such as our anniversary fund or our travel fund or something else that is going to bring us joy later on in life once we have saved up for it a little bit more. So anyway, hope you all are doing great on this lovely day. I am so excited. It's 8 p.m. here in my time zone in Nova Scotia, so it's Atlantic Standard Time, and it's still sunny outside. I don't know about you guys, but that just makes me so happy. I got outside after I got off work at 4 o'clock today, and I got some gardening done, made supper, and I just feel like, how is it 8 o'clock already? It's still so light out. It just makes my spirit brighter. So I hope you all had sun or some form of enjoyment or something that brought you joy today. And if you've enjoyed this content, please give me a like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below. I can't wait to cheer you on your own debt journey. And if you've been like me and overspent this week on things, it's okay. Give yourself some grace. It is 1 week and tomorrow is a new day and you can get back on track. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.